Max Burgers is a Swedish restaurant chain that is the first restaurant that actually outcompeted McDonald's in any market. And Max Burgers has a very strong focus on sustainability. In fact, they've been ranked the top sustainability ranked restaurant in Sweden for 14 years in a row. And with me here in the studio in Stockholm, I have Kaj Török, who is Chief Sustainability Officer at Max Burgers. So how are you today, Kaj? Sometimes I call you Max, you know that by now. How are you?
You're not the only one, actually.
No,
so I hear that quite a lot. 3 letters. Yeah. No, I'm really good. It's very nice. How are things in Belém?
Sticky, intense, but we're enjoying our work, and so we're happy. So, fast food is not very often associated with sustainability, right? So, how does Max Burgers stand out in that regard?
First of all, we're family owned, and we're on a mission to create good food in a good way for a good world. So it means we have to, give our guests tasty products that also do good for the world. So, and we know that in 1969, just one year we were started, we had our first sustainability decision. So we chose a cardboard box for recycling instead of winter tires. And this is above the polar circle in Sweden, so you really need winter tires there. And since then, we've done a lot of stuff. 2008, the world's first climate-labeled menu. 2019, the first restaurant chain in the world to get the Global Climate Action Award.
So, Max, how much of your success would you say you could credit your customers?
I mean, in one way, everything, but everyone thinks that Swedish customers are so much more conscious than others. And what we can see is really a big difference between city and rural areas. So we have the same pattern in Sweden as we have in Poland. Big cities, a lot of green burgers, a lot of plant-based. Rural areas, not so much. Actually, our top sellers of plant-based is in Poland. And our more than every second meal is without red meat in Denmark. That's a top seller there. So I think that's more of a pattern we see globally also.
So Kaj, myself, I'm a big fan of your plant-based burgers since I'm a vegetarian. But I understand that there's been a slight decline in the sales of plant burgers. Why do you think that is?
Well, in 2014, we were really low. 2% of sales were green burgers, lacto vegetarian, fully plant-based. And then 2020, we were up to 18%. So that's a 900% increase. It's fantastic. After that, we've gone down with maybe 30%. And I think it's 3 reasons. First reason is that we feel that somehow we're in a kind of a perma-crisis situation in the world. We have the pandemic, we have war, we have economic downturn. So I think people have been feeling that they should hold on to their money more and look for better value offers. And for some reason, many people think beef is a better value offer. And then another reason for Max is that we launched really tasty chicken burgers, so they cannibalized a little bit on the green burgers. And then I think there's also some green fatigue that we can see in society in general. Both green messaging, but I think also there's a kind of a green fatigue around the burgers. We saw a very rapid increase in the quality of green burgers the last 10 years, but it's slowed down a little bit now. And I think that it's going to pick up again. There's going to come up new stuff. So I can see good things happening in the future anyway.
Thank you, Kaj. So there are obvious challenges in communicating sustainability in all fields and also, of course, in the food industry. So how is Max Burgers tackling them? How are you approaching these challenges?
Well, I mean, we've always tried to work really clearly with action and results. And as long as you have results and you can talk about it, you're in a good position. But when you're talking about ambitions, lofty, wide statements and so on, it is of course harder to get through the clutter. And what we've seen the last years is so many companies have been doing greenwash, but we also see the backlash from that right now with companies doing green hush. They've been so criticized for their environmental claims, so they're actually pulling back on that. And of course, it's in a tough time for us also to see what should we do in this situation when new EU legislation makes it harder to talk about the climate. For example, the last thing here was that we shouldn't be able to say plant-based burgers, but plant-based rondelles instead. That's a suggestion from EU. I think we're going to come through that somehow. It's never been harder to find the balance between greenwash and green hush, but it's more important now than ever.
I agree with you completely, Kai, of course. So clearly you've come quite a long way at Max Burgers, but I'm also curious to hear your thoughts on what do you think, what kind of innovations are needed and also maybe underway?
I think we're in a good situation. I'm quite hopeful. What the biggest thing I've learned over all these years with Max is that taste is everything. It's everything for our guests, it's everything for our sales, and now as it turns out, it's everything for the climate impact and therefore the future of the world. And what I can see now is that the plant-based burgers are coming up with taste parity compared to beef burgers. They taste as well. Not all of them, but some of them, and that's fantastic. I see in a couple of years we will have taste advantage of green burgers, and then we will also have climate advantage for them, and we will also have health advantage for them. So you can feel that it's a kind of a dark situation right now with everything in the world, but innovation is going on in this field. It's very hopeful.
Thank you very much indeed, Kai. And now I'm getting really, really strong urge to dart away and try to get a Max Burger, but of course that's going to be a while before I can do that. So I'll have to stick with whatever they have here at the COP venue, which is not too exciting for a vegetarian, actually. So thank you so much, Kai, for joining us today on our broadcast for We Don't Have Time. And best of luck with your continued work to make this world of eating more sustainable and enjoyable at the same time. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.